like how they're called episodes now. I feel like we're shooting a TV season.
I can't wait to get some drama going.
Mid-season drama.
We need it. It's like not a boring season, but if we're a TV show, somebody better start flipping tables.
Right. Well, this is right around the time where.
What if I took the couch and was like, "Fuck you, Kate," and I flipped the couch over?
I'd be impressed with your upper body strength. But this is always right around the time.
I'd go to the hospital because I'd be so injured from my drama, my outburst.
Well, I tell you to shake it off,
And then
because who needs urgent care? It's fine. You're fine.
No, you don't. We know you don't. But we could put those. Remember in the soaps in the 70s, they'd put the oxygen nose things.
Did they not do that any longer in 2024 when someone needs oxygen?
I used to watch General Hospital. I was Heather and I would get stoned and watch General Hospital.
That was your stoner
show? And then write
show?
music. And then we'd watch Oprah, and then we'd go back to writing music. Huge General Hospital fan. In fact, 10 years ago, I was eating in the Valley, eating dinner, and Scotty, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, Scotty walked in, older than me. You know, he wasn't on the show anymore. He still had his same little spiky Scotty hairdo. I know you don't know who Scotty is, but there are people listening right now like, oh, Scotty. And I died. You would have thought, I don't even know who would have been more exciting. And I got a picture with him. I will find it. I have to find it. And I walked over. I was like, "Hey," and he kind of got up like it must happen to him like
all the time or rarely?
All day, all night.
Okay.
When you're a soap star, it's a different kind of fame.
Okay.
You're in everybody's home every single day. They're
right.
ironing,
yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? I had a stoner phase, but my show of choice was Seinfeld. And we would watch Seinfeld reruns, high as kites.
Yeah.
And it actually fit. It made a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. A lot does.
Yeah, everything made sense.
I can't smoke pot anymore. Can you? I mean, I know you don't.
Leisha, I haven't smoked pot in like 20 years.
But it's so strong now. It's a different. I think we were smoking like rat poison, like oregano sprayed with rat poison or something.
Went back in the day?
Yeah.
It was just weaker. I think that we're actually smoking the strong, like the stuff is more terrifying now. Back then.
It was not really, it probably wasn't weed.
What was it called?
Point.
There was a term for it. Was
dirt
it
weed?
Swagweed or something.
It was just disgusting.
It had all the seeds in it. But sometimes you'd get like the crystallized buds and they were perfect, but they weren't so overwhelming that you'd.
No, they were fine.
Question your life's choices. Now I wouldn't touch any of it, but I haven't for 20 years. You did smoke CBD. Weed though. You still love to smoke weed.
No, I don't. Now?
Yeah.
When did you see me do that?
Not that long ago. You said I love
like no, but really
I love getting high. You said
that. Once in like a major blue moon.
But you enjoy it, whereas I just have a horrible experience.
I take like one hit. If and when I do this thing, which is barely ever, and then if I can laugh, if it makes me laugh.
But how do you know if it's going to make you laugh?
You smoke the right kind.
Even then, it's a crapshoot. You don't know. That's my issue with this. It's like they claim, no, it makes you so happy and giddy, and you're just going to be, light as a feather, and then it just crashes in on you. I don't trust any of these descriptions, and they always have these funny names, blueberry Raz and Bubblegum Wednesdays, and it's just, and they all sound like fun.
They sound like a blast,
but they're horrifying when you have them in your body.
I mean, but we don't do. I mean, but it's funny to think of you smoking weed at all. Like I can't even picture it.
It was one of my favorite things to do when I was younger. I was really good at it. I loved it.
Good at it.
It was just like, it was so enjoyable to me. Or 18, 19, 20, when I first moved to New York, very young, on Saturdays, nothing was more fun than when we would wake and bake. It was so fun.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And then we would walk around the city high as kites, just, window shopping and just taking everything in, just walking aimlessly around town. And it was perfect. I wouldn't dream of doing that now.
I know. It doesn't, you and weed don't line up to me, but I see it then. I can picture it.
It did back then, trust me.
No, I trust you.
And then something funny happened where one day it just reversed itself.
What did?
My reaction to weed. And suddenly I wasn't having the enjoyment I was so used to.
You got paranoid.
It just, I got a bad experience on it. And I thought, oh, maybe it was that one time. And then when I did it again, same thing happened. And that's when I decided.
On the pot.
On the pot. And I thought, that's it for the pot.
When I was on pot.
I think I crossed my threshold with the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a follow-up since we're terrible at these things. But
Great.
a few weeks ago.
I have a list of follow-ups. Go ahead.
A few weeks ago, I was sharing a story about how I really wanted this vintage chambray shirt.
Oh, right.
And guess what, everyone?
Did you find it?
I found one. And asked
How
me.
did you not wear it today? You need to wear it.
Okay. I didn't, obviously.
I know.
And guess what?
How much?
$20.
Told you. I guessed 15. Where'd you find it? Let us all know.
eBay.
Tell us the story. Right.
eBay. I'm telling you, I think I could start a master class for eBay.
Tell us the secrets. You tell me this and I still don't get it.
I could give you a
Let's
blow-by-blow
go.
tutorial
What else are we here for?
Of how to find something
Please
that you
do.
desperately want. It's just a matter of typing in all the different keywords of this thing. So you start with chambray, and then you're like vintage chambray, and then you go into work uniforms. You always go into vintage. Always look at the men's section because the men's clothing was cut a little differently back then. And if you go to the smaller sizes, you might get lucky. Not always a guarantee. You want to keep it in North America or in the US because anything overseas, it'll take forever and the shipping costs more money. So kind of avoid that, even though it's tempting because there's some really great stuff outside of this jurisdiction. And obviously know your measurements and then move on to then you look up vintage navy and see what pops up in the uniforms and
Would this
workwear.
be a different search or you're saying like
No, you're just typing in
keeps
all these different
dwindling?
keywords just to see what's coming up because everyone lists differently. Then eventually you'll see, oh, right, seafarer. So then you type in seafarer.
Fairer?
Farer.
What, like a
Seafarer.
sailor?
Correct. Seafarer because it's a old Navy shirt. And
I didn't know the term.
neither did I, but through all these little things.
You were like, oh, it's a seafarer
Yeah,
shirt.
you'll read another description that someone else had written, and it might not be for the
And
thing
that's
that
the
fits you,
clue.
but that's
Kate,
the clue.
that's it.
And then you think, oh, now I know what to look
what
for.
I'm looking for, literally.
So you're just going through all of the different categories and process of elimination. And eventually, if you're lucky, it doesn't always happen.
You got to put in some hours. It sounds
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
It's a fun pre-bed
Sunday.
activity.
Oh, pre-bed.
And you're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go search for this thing that I'm obsessed with. And if you're lucky, you found it. And I got lucky. I found it.
Okay. Does it have writing? Remember
No.
you said some had
Because that was...
the names? Was it the names of the sailors?
Yeah, no, this one didn't.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you going to, maybe, should he wear it and then go back to that store shopping and like...
No.
No? You
For
don't
what?
feel like a little braggy, like
Who,
$20?
to prove to Cody that I fought the system and won?
He doesn't care.
No, neither
He
do I.
lost a sale also. He'd be like, thanks.
Or else he would have said, I don't blame you.
It
'Cause
is, I
wouldn't spend
really do think when
$350
it
either.
comes to this look, this vintage look, you either go overpay. We've talked about this with hats. We're like
Hats?
a million years ago, we talked about hats once and how everyone was going for this train hopper look. And like the more money you spent to have it look like it was from like the 1940s or 50s, it was just old and beat up. To get that look, you spend more money. But really, you can spend less money, but you have to spend the hours finding the thing. So it's really like a trade. It's like time is money kind of thing.
Right.
You have to put in the hard sweat and tears to get the item for $20.
You can also-
or you just drive and go spend way too much money and have someone else do it for you.
Or you could also learn how to do it yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm
I
saying
choose
breaking
the
down
hard way.
Me too. And also breaking down clothing.
What do you mean breaking? Oh, to make it look.
Do it yourself. Like with Doc Martens, you know how hard they are?
They're so stiff, but I
bought
love
a
them.
pair of navy blue 8-hole Docs back like 15, 20 years ago, and I loved them.
I
but
was with you.
You were with me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You had the white ones.
I
that you
was
thought,
like, I'm bringing it. I've done it 3 times
and
since.
you wear them once, and then you never wear them
hate-
again.
The white ones have been, I can't go in. It's so boring, but go ahead.
Well, as you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you only wore them once because they hurt your feet that badly, they're really stiff. So when I got my blue ones, I desperately wanted to wear these without pain. So I ran them over with my car like 3 times. And it worked.
And it broke them in like comfort wise or looks wise?
Both.
Or both. Okay.
Because I don't like a perfect dock. I wanted it to have like some life behind it.
They're not supposed to be.
No. So, but running it over with the car at the right angle so you don't completely kill the shape.
I used to wear docks well, first of all, I used to wear the actual army boots, the black ones forever.
Combat boots.
Yes. Like the real, I'd go home to Nebraska. My mom would take me to the Army Navy store. I'd get them. I had them and they had a zipper. They were laced,
the flight
but
boots.
they zipped.
Yeah, the flights.
I wore the shit out of those for a million years. And then I moved on to the white Doc Martens, but they were high.
In the 90s, you did the white docks.
Way up to here, to my knee. And then I got them, always had platform sole shoes that were like at least 10 inches high. And I had them made. But those didn't hurt, the ones that, I think probably because with the platforms, my foot didn't bend.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Whereas now if I just get the regular size, like it kills. Well, we were in New York together and I tried to wear them and we had to return back to the hotel.
Didn't we tell that story?
We did.
We got like half a block and you're like, I can't do this.
I can't do it. Yeah, but Doc Martens are a classic. They're great.
So you were trying to relive the glory days by bringing back the white Doc boot, and what they don't fit your style now. Like you wear them in.
What's your question?
Like because I've seen you try to like resuscitate the white
ones,
and you wear them once, and then you never wear them again. So what's the deal? Does it not fit your style any longer?
You know, there might be something to being older, and I feel dumb. But then I'm like, no, because I'm also not an ageist, and I still dress the same as I did when I was 20. So I'm kind of like, let that thought process go and just wear what you want to wear and be happy in it. So it's less about that, even though I'll have like a twinge of a moment. Mm-hmm. It's more about like they hurt. I don't know what to tell you.
Run them over with your car.
Maybe they're not making them the same. But I had another pair because I think or it might be the same ones I tried in New York, and I kept them around. And I thought, bring them to Texas. They'll be dirty in a week with all the dust and like.
Sure. What happened?
Tried them. Also, the style feels wrong there. Like I'm like, I don't feel right in these.
Okay.
Last time I was there, I brought them to the thrift store.
Leisha.
They're over.
Leisha.
Bye. More from us in just a moment. Today, we're super excited to talk about a skincare brand that has completely changed our skin routines. OneSkin. I've been using their products, especially the OS1, and I'm impressed with the results.
I am too. My skin has been feeling and it's been looking so much healthier and more vibrant. So I've been applying it twice a day, daily after cleansing, and my skin feels and looks so much healthier and more vibrant, and it has fit perfectly into my routine.
And for a limited time, you can try OneSkin for 15% off using the code PANTS when you check out at oneskin.co. With OneSkin, your skin can stay healthy, strong, and hydrated at every age. OneSkin is tackling skincare in a way no other company has. They target cellular senescence, those pesky zombie cells that stop producing collagen and hyaluronic acid. The OS01 peptide is scientifically proven to reduce these cells.
Founded by an incredible team of women scientists, OneSkin's products are all about real, lasting results.
OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company by focusing on cellular aspects of aging. OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. So get started today with 15% off using code PANTS at oneskin.co.
That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PANTS. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and tell them we're the ones who sent you.
And we were like we're dancing like ballerinas. We're like, we're fine, you guys. And somebody tried to put us in slippers, and all the real dancers were like
absolutely not.
We'll break an ankle if you put us in like a slipper to dance in. Anyway, we got to choose what we wanted to wear. What did you wear?
Well, originally I was going to wear the shoes I always wore because I always kept Shane's shoe game to a minimal requirement every year. Like the rest of you always had 1,000 shoes from all different high-end designers. I usually had a pair of boots, or shoes and a pair of sneakers and pretty much called it a day. That year, or that episode, I was gonna wear the shoes I was wearing, which were these
loafers.
They were like thick, chunky loafers.
You had chunky loafers,
and I loved them, and they
season.
looked great. But I thought, oh, I can wear these. And after maybe 1 or 2 rehearsals, I said no. Like I had blisters. Like I taped my foot up with ballet tape, and I was like, are you kidding me? So at the
so we were actually dancing more than you would think.
Oh my God! But the last moment, I got a great pair of sneakers out of the deal.
Oh, because you were in pain?
Well, I was in pain, but I got a great pair of sneakers.
Guys, I'm gonna need some Gucci's.
Yeah.
These hurt. These loafers hurt.
But that's what happened.
I know.
And I had them on my feet yesterday. They look great.
Well, I stuck with my white boots and my ankle and my toes, and nothing could move. It was almost like I wore a boot.
We have a video that I don't think we ever shared.
I think I shared it.
Did
on
you?
My Instagram, where we were all taped up and icing our feet.
In between takes, we would take off our shoes. My feet still hurt in those sneakers, so I could only imagine how you felt. So we took off our shoes and our socks, and our feet were swollen. We were sweating. Our feet were all dink.
Yeah,
dink,
they were huge. But my boots, what I'm trying to say is it was like I had 2 casts. like a boot you would get if you had a broken foot. That's how much movement it gave you, which is none. So I had like 2 little L-shaped feet that I was trying to dance in the whole time. Like shit went wrong. My hips started hurting. Like other things were trying to take over because my feet wouldn't move. Like other injuries were happening.
I had
all over the not dumbest dance, because it was a great dance, but like what we considered a simple dance.
Right.
I possibly might be like feeling this in 10 years.
Yeah, you'll need a hip replacement, all based on what happened in the summer of 2022. I also wore my own Red Wings for another number during that.
A number.
During another performance. Yeah. And I thought, oh, this is great. I'm gonna be able to wear my own shoes. And my feet hurt so badly that when I put those boots on now to this day, I get sense memory.
I know. I have the boots still. I'm like, I can't put them on. How am I going to get around?
It's trauma. I have trauma.
Yeah.
My feet have trauma. They're like begging, like, no.
Don't take me back.
Yeah.
And our dance number, at least the one we shared together, was like 3 times longer.
Oh, everything
it all
was
got cut out.
Everything was
so
cut.
we were dancing our tits off like
and
for
guess what? You never saw it.
And you never saw it. You never will see it.
They cut the shit out of it.
But remember we had like scarves.
Oh, all of it.
We were doing twirls. We had like a thing where we were like slapping the ground with scarf.
It would have looked amazing if it just stayed in.
Yeah.
Remember how it took like 8 months to get
like Bob Fosse had filmed it, or like Minnelli. Okay. Liza Minnelli's dad, what was his name? If he had filmed it, you would have seen all these numbers.
Right. Remember how it took 8 months for us to get an edit of the episode? We're like, hey, are we ever going to see the episode? Yeah. We're just in the final stages. And then another 3 or 4 months would go by, and it's like, hey, are we ever going to be able to watch, cut of the musical so we can, give notes? Yeah. We're just finalizing it. Remember how long it took?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh my God. It was in the editing bay for easily like 4 months.
Sorry, I'm just laughing about a lot of things right now.
We
loved the dance. We loved doing the dancing.
Oh, that was fun.
Had the time
rehearsals
of our lives.
Were a blast. It was
our choreographers were amazing. Everyone was so much fun.
So were the dance team that was brought in. They were so encouraging, and they were like, "No, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh no, the whole thing was delicious, but except for the end result, and then. I don't what it's.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't either. But speaking of that, I think we got to address an elephant in the room.
Oh, you really want to get that? You really want to bring this up?
Well, I just you can't tell me that you don't feel the same, because we've each gotten texts regarding.
I've gotten emails, phone calls, texts.
I got a text just yesterday.
When are you starting the new L word?
Can I come in shadow?
I heard you're.
Apparently, I'm directing.
You're directing. I'm the first to sign on. Apparently,
number one
to
on the
new
call sheet.
Reboot.
How are the scripts?
It's literally someone wrote an article. I don't
Ages
know
ag-
when.
ages ago,
You
by
said
the
you
way.
saw this article last year.
I came
I've
across
never
this
seen any of it.
article about a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago, that basically was saying, "Oh, this is a sure thing," and go ahead.
All I know is
And a year
4
late-
days. Go ahead.
But a year later, which was only last week, I suppose, that article got resuscitated and got put in another publication, and basically saying the same thing,
Confirming
Right.
that we've joined it. It's
Well, you've
happening.
joined it. You're
I've
a shoo-in.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to know about how
If my life was going as well as the rumors said, I mean, I'd be so happy. But Katie was like, "I'll let you know when they call." I was like, "Good," because apparently I'm moving to New York pretty soon here.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's funny. I mean, I guess.
Did you hire a real estate person to help you
I'm
find
sorry I
corporate
forgot
housing?
to talk to you about it.
No, it's all right. Listen, it's a lot going on. I'm sure they want to get production up because they want to get it
slipped
out
my
by the
mind.
end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just upsetting. Just because
It's all upsetting because it should be happening, but
well,
we
if
know
it was
nothing
going to be
about it.
happening, Leisha, we weren't ever a part of it to begin with, and
we
that
never
was the
were a part of the L Word New York
ever,
and
that was
then
the other.
that got canned, and then I think the L Word brand has been pretty much canned. I don't know. What do we know though? There could be inner workings, Kate. And
There
there's
always
like
could
a
be
whole
inner
new-
workings, but as far as we know,
Well, as far as we know, if we're involved in any of it, we're not, and
No.
those articles are not true.
it's just sad that the moment it's editorialized, it's considered a fact, and all it does is bring up hope in people, and hope is such a precious feeling.
I know, and we feel
it's
bad we're
false
not
hope.
able to deliver on this, but we don't have
We
any
don't
control.
have any control over
But
it.
it is kind of it's an odd experience to have your name in something where it's like they act like it's so real, and then people in your life are like, "Hey, when are you leaving, or what's going on, or
Oh God.
are you?" I mean, I pulled. Somebody sent me the article, and I was like, and she was like, "Explain yourself," and I was like, and I had to pull over, and I read. I was like, "I don't know what this is."
Yeah.
And then bloop, bloop, bloop all week.
Mm-hmm.
Ring, ring. I was like, I'm not, it's not.
I guess journalists are allowed to do that.
I don't know.
It's clickbait, really, is what it is. And, credit to them, they got it. It was people clicked and it baited them in, but it's just wrong. And I just thought it was important to bring up, because if we don't bring it up, it seems like we're in on a secret, and there is no
people
secret.
think we're just keeping like tight-lipped.
We're not. We're
No.
not. And I know maybe some people would still maybe not believe what we're saying.
Well, then
But
what can you do? 'Cause-
Nothing. But the point is, it's just, I hate, it's fake news. Hate to use that term, but
I know,
it really
it feels
is.
dumb to use that one, but
It is, but
that's what it is.
I can't think of another way to describe it.
And sad. And then you get
then I feel
does it kind of
sad.
make you feel like shitty for a minute? You're like,
Kinda. I just think that, we talked about this before. It's even throughout all of the frustrations we've had. If one thing is for certain, underneath all that frustration was this feeling that we were kind of filling a hole that wasn't ever being really
like a black hole, like a giant void.
of content.
There's nothing.
that there wasn't a whole lot of it, right? And so there was always a level of I'm not doing the Lord's work, but I'm doing something of importance that
I always felt
it's
proud to be involved in the show at any point because
because you were part of filling this.
At least we're doing something. You're not just on
some
Joe Schmo's
bumblefuck TV show
Yeah.
that's a run of the mill thing that looks like every other TV show out there.
Yeah. So that's what's sad about it is that there's nothing to this day like it. And the only way to make it happen again would be to either do that one again, which feels insane to say, but.
Well, according to whatever these magazine or publications, it's happening. But just for the record, it's not.
Or if it is, we don't know anything about it.
Right.
Which makes me want to follow up with, so it's not happening. Right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't make the
what else do
rules.
we say?
If we made the rules, things would have looked a lot differently. But
I know.
yeah, that's just a fact.
Pants.
But on another note, I finished Hacks.
Oh, good for you. Isn't it fucking
I thought you'd be
amazing?
so excited. I finished Hacks. I'm up to date. I
I'm-
know maybe I'm a
Kate,
few
I'm
weeks or months late.
I'm thrilled. What do you want?
I really, like, I was...
You need a hug?
No, I don't need a hug. I just want some validation.
I'm happy for you and all of us to hear that you have finished Hacks.
Do you all watch Hacks?
We all watch Hacks. We all watched it. I think is
Oh, watched. I cried when she got late
I know.
night. I had tears
Cried.
pouring down my face.
know.
I look over at Anna on the and she has tears pouring down her
Yeah.
face. I'm so committed to Deborah Vance.
yes. That show like is so perfectly written and performed.
It's so well. What I love about the dynamic between Ava and Deborah is the way they're written. They're written like a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are a couple essentially, but it blurs the line of intimacy, and it really does show that intimacy comes in all forms.
Oh my God, yes.
So in I want to say was it in season 2? Was it at the end of season 2? It was the season 2 where Deborah's like, I'm basically letting you be free. Use this momentum to move further up in your career. Like the way that whole scene was written through it was so beautiful because it was like the backdrop or the subtext was like, yes, I'm breaking up with you. But in reality, it was just like, no, this is business, it's professional.
Right. If you love something, let it go.
Yes.
Yes.
But the emotions and like the loss and the
all of
sorrow
it.
was all about like,
Yes.
oh, that's what happens when you lose like,
Someone you love.
yeah. Like, and I just love those blurred lines.
I know. There's
Ugh,
the
they make
two
me
of
so
them.
happy.
They're just like amazing.
They're the couple of the moment.
I know. They're so
And
great.
then even at the end of season 3, it was like, touche. And Ava then flips the script and she's like, you see, I have been paying attention.
yeah,
boom.
and she loved it.
Well, she respected her.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Yeah.
you've learned, young one.
Yes, yes. Grasshopper.
Exactly.
I know.
Oh, I just can't wait.
So great. I know.
I read that the creators had a 5-year plan. And I always thought that was smart when shows get pitched and they have an over... They can...
They know where it's going to end. They know
Yeah.
what they're shooting for the whole time.
Precisely. So they have the end in mind from day one. I always thought that was usually where such great storytelling comes from because you know the end so you can work your way back to the beginning.
Right. And I'm sure usually when the network buys this show, they are invested in that story to the end. I mean,
Sure.
for it to be cut off in the middle.
That show's not being cut off
Either.
in the middle.
No. If a show was to be cut off in the middle, something went horribly wrong.
Sure.
Or the person never had the ending to begin with. Like when they pitched it, they were just like, and it's going to be like this, but we don't know where it's going. Like this never ending idea.
Right.
And then it could be canceled at any point because you can tell.
Right. That someone's just conjuring up some drama to have a cliffhanger. And it's like, this will work.
Yeah.
Like, just throw some shit up against the wall. They'll buy it.
Yeah.
And then
People are smarter.
people are smarter and they're like, yeah, thanks. No.
I'm really glad. I really am glad you finished it. I'm sorry my reaction wasn't big enough.
I was really expecting a
Sorry.
shit.
It's like a big accomplishment.
I thought so.
It's like you. Okay.
I thought so.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't-
Now
yeah.
I know what you need in a TV watching conversation.
What? What is that?
You need me to be like a proud mom.
Kind of.
Okay.
Well, I watched the first season of Hacks and I loved it, but then I kind of fell off because
You at the
we all have attention spans of goldfish. So I just forgot and then other things took its place and then life moved forward. And then Anna and I were like, oh, we should dive back into Hacks.
It took me forever to convince you to watch that show.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't do comedies.
Well, I don't think a lot of comedies are funny, to be honest. I think I don't personally get their humor, but this show instantly had me with the humor. Like, what was the show with Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Veep.
Veep. That was the last show I can think of outside of Hacks that genuinely had me on the floor
That's one of the
laughing.
funniest shows on the planet.
It's brilliant. But that kind of humor is like few and far between. For me, at least.
Right, but you know when these like iconic women are signing on to these shows, it's got to be like Quality USA. It's got to be. You know it's going to be good. Usually.
Not always.
Like who's been a big disappointment for you that you're like, oh, this is going to be great, and then it wasn't? If you can think of one
I don't
off the
wanna
top of your
shit
head.
talk publicly.
Oh, that's true. It would be shit talking. Okay, never mind.
And also, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
I know it's a big. You'd
Recently,
have to really.
I feel like
I'm
I've-
not even saying in the comedy space. I guess I was.
Just in general.
Yeah, like have you ever been super excited about a show starring somebody? Mm-hmm. Like, remember when Hollywood went through its that transition period where it was less about unknown actors getting cast, and all of a sudden every movie star came into television. It was like in the early to mid 2000s.
It was like around the 2010 era.
And all of a sudden you're like, what do you mean Glenn Close is starring in it? Like, you were like, huh? But she's a movie star. Yeah. Like, that era, like, everybody at the beginning assumed, every single thing starring a movie star is going to be a runaway hit. And at first it was kind of like, oh my God. And they came in and they're doing it and then it started to wear off.
You're right,
and then you could tell they all just wanted steady work.
Yes.
Because television is more
reliable. Well, not reliable, but it's more consistent.
Yeah. Like, especially if you have a family, you don't have to like leave your family to go shoot a movie, come back.
I've always considered that if you're lucky enough to get on a TV series that's long running, it's the closest feeling that an actor will have to an office job outside of being part of an ongoing show in the theater, because you have your schedule. And I know from
what's the word I'm looking for? Stability,
consistency,
right?
Stability.
Yeah, and just you can put your kids in a school, and anyway, you could tell people were into it for other reasons outside of whatever. I
always loved being part of a TV show. I love that consistency.
It's the best.
From this month to this month.
Right.
I'm
I know exactly what I'm doing. But my point is, it started to wear off, and then there were shows that starred megastars that were flopping. And that's when everybody was like, our formula is breaking down.
Well, does that conflate with the time we just went through where too much television was being made in general?
Totally different. No, before that. Like, it was, I don't know. I feel like
what you're, I know at the moment, remember the moment
like
when it began.
can think of movie stars that were in shows that didn't go past first season.
Like what?
I'm not going to, you're going to make me shit talk.
Having a show canceled, it doesn't mean you didn't like it, or doesn't mean you're going to say something bad. It's just a fact. The show got canceled.
I guess I don't even want to say it. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to have a negative connotation to anybody.
But it got canceled. It's just a fact. You're not giving an opinion on it. Like, it got canceled because it was so bad. It's like, no, the show got canceled. Like, here's an example.
I know, but you're making me do it, but you wouldn't do it.
Well, you were asking my personal opinion on something that I didn't like.
I get the difference.
And I didn't want to, who cares what I think? I mean, I care what I think, but I don't expect anyone else to care what I think.
Who cares what I think
but it's not about what you think. It's just a fact.
An opinion.
It's just a fact.
Okay, like Julia Roberts was in a show. It had one season.
Yes, and it had one season.
And I love her to death.
That's right.
And you would think
this is
one of the greatest movie stars of our lifetime, that would automatically be a win-win.
Right.
So what went wrong is always what I'm thinking, because it's not her.
Right. It's a very good point, Leisha.
I'm not saying it's a good point. It's an interesting conversation.
Well, I remember the time when if you were going to get a show on cable, not network, but cable, and there were two channels, HBO and then Showtime, way before Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and all that. And
before streaming, cable was
you had HBO, Showtime,
quality,
and I believe Cinemax, but really it was HBO and Showtime.
Cinemax was more raunchy, I think.
Kind of. It was more.
Wasn't it like soft porn? Not porn, but like.
Yeah, it was more.
Yeah, and they called it Skinamax, wasn't it?
Yeah, the nickname was Skinamax. Nope, you're totally right. And if you were to get a TV show for one of these cable things, if you got picked up to series, you knew that there was this unspoken guarantee that you were going to probably run for about 5 years, because cable at that point didn't really make a lot of television. So when they did, it's because they were committed to it.
Yeah, like a 6-season run was a classic run.
5 season was a classic run.
Oh, I thought it was 6.
No,
okay.
It was 5.
Okay.
5 season was like the cap usually.
Okay.
Usually.
Speaking of an episode cap, I think we're supposed to cap.
Oh shit! Wrap it up. All right. Wrap it up. All right, we got to wrap this up. Should we keep
Chris.
this up?
I'm about to what?
Wrap it up, Chris.
Yeah, I'll keep talking about it.
All right.
Two-parter.
But is it interesting?
I don't know.
Pants.